Forest management is an important factor of attaining a healthy environment. All organisms, including humans, rely on food for clean air to breathe, nutrient-dense food, and fresh water. We also rely on them to provide us everyday materials such as paper, wood, and some forms of plastic as well. Taking care of our forests is especially important today because they provide us resources we need for our everyday lives and they keep our oxygen clean. But what makes a healthy forest? According to forest specialists, there are 4 things we should be able to see if it is healthy. Forests should have certification programs to ensure good health throughout the area based on multiple standards enabling a future for our trees. Along with proper certification, there should always be individuals managing the area. They should be protecting any present watersheds, harvesting timber, while also reducing hazards and reforestation. In every forest, there should obviously be wildlife biodiversity among it. These animals should feel safe in the forest and be able to thrive along with the other wildlife as well. But what if a forest doesn't have these features? What happens to the environment when the trees should be healthy but aren't? This has been an ongoing problem not only in the United States but more specifically within Chicago. Invasive species are growing more common than ever before, and they are negatively affecting our forests. Invasive species are non-native organisms to the ecosystem such as plants, animals, or pathogens that are likely to cause harm. Currently in Chicago, our elm trees are facing problems regarding the elm bark beetle, an invasive species that is destroying a majority of American elms throughout the country. The beetles are spreading a fungal disease on the bark that essentially poisons the elms. Being able to identify our trees such as elms is becoming more and more relevant and important with the rising amount of invasive species among our forests. If we are able to look at the trees and pick up certain features and characteristics about their species, we will know if there is something wrong or potentially dangerous affecting them. In order to identify a tree, we have to look at their leaves or needles, examine the bark and the branches, and see if there are other special traits such as flowers or certain organisms. From there, we will look at the general shape and size of the tree as a whole. For example, an elm is oval in shape and comes to a point at the end. The edges of the leaf are jagged and the veins are prominent. The bark of an elm is rough and coarse with intersecting ridges. The color is light gray or dark grayish brown. Our species of elm tend to be larger, growing to 130 feet in height and 120 feet in width. Flowers may be hidden behind the leaves of the elm if the tree has already produced leaves and the elm seeds are round, flat, and covered by a thin, paper-like casing that hooks at the top. Knowing this, we will be able to tell if something is unusual in the tree and properly treat it when we know what is affecting it. Symptoms of Dutch elm disease begin as wilting of leaves and proceed to yellowing and browning. Multiple branches may be individually infected, resulting in symptom development at several locations in the crown. Branches and stems of elms infected by the fungus typically develop dark streaks of discoloration. If we are able to detect these characteristics of invasive species in all of our trees, we would be able to save many through conducting proper research for how to protect them in the future.